Well, after 40, it looks a lot sweeter than after 20. 2 periods in the book. It's the Coyotes 3 and the Los Angeles Kings nothing. Welcome back to the Great Western Forum. Doug McLeod, Charlie Simmer upstairs, joined by Daniel Briere downstairs. Well, congratulations. A nice goal, Danny. Boy, it really started the Coyotes on an onslaught here in the second period, and I guess we've seen it over and over, haven't we? You just keep on keeping on, and things will go.
Yeah, that was a tough first period for us. They really came strong on us. I don't know if it's the fact that we didn't practice or we traveled today. Our legs were kind of tired in the first, but we really got it going in the second, and it feels good right now to have a 3-0 lead going in the third.
Daniel, even though it has been a short career for you so far, you've made a living playing against Los Angeles. Maybe you can help us through your goal here. You've really performed very well against this King Hockey Club.
Well, on the power play, this year we've been struggling, and we're trying just to keep it on net. Myself, I didn't get any points yet on the power play, and I'm just trying to go to the net, trying to create something around the net, and that's what happened. Yerke took a shot, and I was there for the rebound.
The mood had to be very somber in between the first and second period. It looks like Jim Schonfield had shuffled up the lines a little bit, and it seems to be quite successful.
Well, like I said, in the first, they really came strong on us. We weren't ready. They had a week off, and they really came on strong. We needed to get the guys going, and maybe by shuffling the lines like that, it helped us to wake us up a little bit more too.
Danny, thanks for joining us. Congratulations, and we'll see you in the third period.
Thank you, guys.
Daniel Briere got the goal. He's the Kings killer for the Coyotes. Being our guest, we'll receive a certificate from Barrington Limousine Service. We played 2 periods at the Forum, and the Coyotes have exploded in the middle period. In the second intermission, Coyotes 3 and the Los Angeles Kings nothing. Coyotes lead the Kings 3-0 after 2 at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. Take a look at the other action tonight on a big Thanksgiving weekend, Saturday night in the National Hockey League. Lots of action tonight, so let's get to our scores on our Cox Communications out-of-town scoreboard. The Carolina Hurricanes, Keith Primo had a power play goal and an assist. They beat the New York Islanders 3-1. Pittsburgh Penguins over the Montreal Canadiens 4-3. Marty Straka not only had a hat trick, he scored every way you can score except on a penalty shot. He had a full-strength goal, a power play goal, and a shorthanded goal, which was also an empty net goal as the Penguins win. Maple Leafs beat the Senators by a score of 3-2. Former Coyote Chris King has a pair of goals in that one. Other scores tonight. The Florida Panthers, Kirk McLean made 47 saves, and the Panthers beat up on Dominic Hasek and the Sabres 6-2. St. Louis Blues 4, the Washington Capitals 2. And the New Jersey Devils, fresh from their loss in Phoenix the other night, got revenge on the Colorado Avalanche 3-2. Holik got a goal and an assist, and the Flames are still making the Blackhawks season miserable 5-3 in the third. We'll be back to take a look at some highlights, and we've got some highlights from this period in just a moment. After 2, the Coyotes 3 and the Kings nothing. Coyotes lead the Kings 3-0 after 2 periods. Welcome back to Los Angeles in a period that didn't take very long for the Coyotes to get things back on track. Doug and Charlie back upstairs, and they got a lot of guys who can jump in there and score, Charlie, and we saw it tonight.
Well, they had extra bonus too of many power play opportunities, especially early in that period. So what better way than on the power play to turn things around? Looked a little rusty in the first 1 or 2, but after that they really started to get some things rolling.
They got it going, so let's take a look. And it all started with the guy we just talked to, Daniel Briere, before the period was barely over 3 minutes old.
Simple play right here. Shoot that puck at the net, especially on the power play. That goal, that shot right there is not going to beat the goaltender from there, but he can handle the rebound. It goes right to Daniel Briere. He's in pretty good position at that point to tuck it in. And then after that, just good hard work, muscle work. Shane Doan coming out. I'm going to stuff it myself. Picks up the rebound by Yolonen all by himself again. Nobody picks up the guy coming in from the high slot area. First of the year for Juha Yolonen. Slimmer play right here. Hard work along the boards. The shot on net. The rebound comes. Doan just pumps it right back to the front of the net. And that's a defenseman at the top of the crease. Where are the back checkers at that point for the LA Kings?
Here's our search stat pack for the first 2 periods of this game, and boy, did they load on the shots on goal in that period.
Just dominated, all starting by the power play, but then they got back into their sync as we saw the last 2 goals. A lot of hard work along the boards, good positioning. Passes much crisper in the second period. So you saw the quick outlet passes by the defenseman. The forward sprung through the defensive zone, and all of a sudden now everybody's joining up on the play.
So it was a big second period. The third one is on the way. The Coyotes pile on 3 goals in the early part of that period, which is nothing new the way way they've been playing against the Los Angeles Kings. Great to see guys like Danny Briere and Juha Jalonen get goals and tempo at all times, whoever. Everybody gets in the act.
Well, that's the way it goes. Someone gets it started, which is the key. Now everybody starts to get into the mode, and now all of a sudden they're back into the same system they were in the past. It's a one-period hockey game for them.
And here we go to that one period. It's the third. It's straight ahead from the Great Western Forum. Coyotes 3 and the Los Angeles Kings nothing. We'll be right back. Well, what's up, Doc? The Coyotes have produced a limited edition print of Bugs Bunny skating in a Coyote jersey, and every one of these limited edition prints is personally autographed by Jeremy Roenick. There are less than 200 of these prints remaining. Each print is $395, with a portion of the proceeds going to Goals for Kids. For information, 473-5629, or you can visit the Coyotes website at phoenixcoyotes.com. That's sharp looking. Right person for the right gift. That's one of those, what do you get somebody who's got everything or hard to buy for? Who's going to turn down Bugs Bunny autographed by Jeremy Roenick? I don't think he would. I guarantee he wouldn't. Oh, who would? It's 3-0 Coyotes as we get set to go to the third period. Start of a long skein of games here on the road, and as of the start of that period, it's definitely actually late in the first period, getting off to a good start. Brush up on your skating at the Cellular One Ice Den, home of your Coyotes. The Ice Den offers 13 public skating sessions every week. Each session is 2 hours in length, and both hockey and figure skate rentals are available right there. If you'd like to find out more, call 585-RINK, R-I-N-K, 585-RINK, and you can skate in the Ice Den where the Coyotes skate. It's a great facility. There are always a lot of people out there. I mean, from early morning till late at night, but there's always room for you. 23-12 in shots on goal. Goals by Briere, Jalonen, and Newman. And here we go to the third period, and all the damage was done in a span of just about 5 minutes there in the period. Briere at 3:13, Jalonen 4:10, Newman at 8:24. And that's not early. That's not news. Last time in here on the 1st of November, the 3-0 win, the Coyotes struck early in all three periods. Jyrki Lume's eventual game winner, the first goal, came at 3:49 of the first, and they spread it out. Rick Tocchet got a shorthander at 1:29 of the second, and Roenick scored the final goal of the night at 2:07 of the third. That early stuff has been good stuff for the Coyotes often this year. Now they can share a little joke and enjoy themselves because they're riding a 3-0 lead coming in here.
Great second period for the Coyotes. 15 shots on net by 12 different players. So you can
Get off
see
the ice,
everybody's getting involved, and you can see how one period has a lot of frowns after the first period, so a lot of smiles and things like this. You can joke around at least till December 7th.
Yeah, so there's a you better get off. We're talking to Brian Lewis, the supervisor of officials here tonight, and it's up to each individual team, apparently, to get the facts with that information to the officials' room. There's some question whether that got there. Nobody really knows tonight, but it was certainly confusing, talking about the penalty that was whistled at the start of the second period on the Coyotes, who had everybody out on the ice, and the new rule is only the starters for that period can be on the ice. It's a way to speed things up and get the period going again. This is the grace period or the warning period, but the referee has to know about it. All the teams have to keep it in mind, so they call the penalty and call it off, which I've never seen happen before.
Well, I think, as you mentioned, the referee has to realize that there's a December 7th start also.
So the Coyotes motor around in the Los Angeles zone, and here's Quarkum. Doan is open, lets it go, the save by Storr. Shane Doan, who has a 2-point night going already tonight with 2 assists. Now the Kings will ice the puck and stomp off to the bench for a change. 51 seconds into the third period.
Always a dangerous shift when you're either ahead or trailing at 3-0. LA's at home. They want to come out very strong and aggressive, but it didn't happen that way. LA continued to fall back. Good scoring opportunities by the Coyotes by good hard work. Good hard wrist shot. Jamie Storr is really looking pretty composed for missing most of the season. Standing right upright until the shot comes. As he goes down, he handled that rebound pretty good. But that's the success of the club, having guys like Shane Doan in hard. Larry Robinson definitely had talked to his guys about coming out hard, and it's not happening.
Tverdovsky put a wicked little change of direction shot in there, and Storr turned it away. Now the Kings come swinging back. Just over a minute into the third period. Coyotes knock it right out again. Mark Vichot, Matthias Norrstrom back. The Coyotes turn that right back.
simplest part of this game right now, being up by 3, is to keep it simple. Especially early, we talked about get the puck deep as possible and continue to work on the success of play along the boards. Keep the puck out of the middle.
The Kings are playing, of course, without one of their top guys, Matt Johnson, who was slapped with a huge suspension the other day, 12 games, for putting a punch to the back of the head of Jeff Bookable, pounding him down to the ice. 12 games, the longest suspension in the National Hockey League since February of 1994, when another King, Tony Granato at the time, got 15 games for slashing the Penguins' Neil Wilkinson, a game I remember very vividly because I broadcast that game. As a repeat offender now, Johnson's going to get hurt. You know, usually on those it's a $1,000 fine. He's going to be suspended and lose about $95,000 in salary, $600 and some. He will feel that. It's the repeat offender status of the NHL suspension system.
Well, we know a lot about that from last year. Rick Talker,
we sort of knew.
He had a real bad month last year. He sort of just kept going at each other, and not even close to being as severe as that punch.
Now the Coyotes bring it away. Here's Briere. Past Nordstrom as it wheels in. Galley behind the net. Johnson on a blind pass right to the Coyotes' Jyrki Lume.
And Coyotes keeping it very simple, really clogging up the neutralized area to get any opportunity to just fire that puck into the offensive zone.
They fired it in 15 times on to Jamie Storr in the second period to only 4 shots for the Kings. Ironically, the Coyotes haven't needed a shot on goal advantage in order to be successful during their unbeaten string here. They've only outshot opponents 4 times out of those 13 without a win coming in tonight.
Really maximized their scoring opportunities, especially early in the game where they're plus 11 goals for, scoring 16 in the first period to get that lead.
Lacroix, LaPerriere, and Galley. That goes nowhere. Here's Ferrero. But the puck knocked away, and Lume's there. Away from Ray Ferrero, but O'Donnell fires, and that smacks the glass. Now Lacroix. Oh, clear control down in the Coyote zone. Is Bister down there checking. Sullivan. And Mike Sullivan ratchets the puck away. It eases into the Kings zone, and no icing. Play goes on. But there's going to be a penalty behind the play for high sticking. And the Kings will have another opportunity here with 16:31 to go and a 3-0 Coyote lead when we come back to Los Angeles. Coyotes get the opportunity as Ray Ferrero goes for high sticking.
Just continual play after the whistle. As you can see, right up there, yes, very quickly turned around to give Newman in the high stick.
Quinn lines one on to score. And the Coyotes begin another power play as Darren Quinn, who got an assist on the power play against Chicago on Tuesday night, laced it in. The old frozen rope on to Jamie Storr. Both goalies are back for the Kings tonight for the first time in a while. Stefan Fiset and Jamie Storr. Fiset dressing for the first time tonight after being out 12 games with a groin injury and an almost identical injury to Storr.
They end up getting a lot of use out of their youngsters from the minor leagues, which is always a good test because of injuries, so you always look for the positive things.
Sabardovsky. The glass has to remain half full if you're going to get anywhere. Now Tocchet from Adams. Power play running. Chips it to Sabardovsky. Lets it go. Deflected off a King's stick. Marstrom pounds it. Kings trying to clear the zone and finally do get it away. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Murray with O'Donnell. Sean O'Donnell rips one off the end boards. But the Coyotes come busting back the other way on the power play. Adams for Jeremy Roenick. JR checked by Murray, but here's Quinn shooting. They score on the rebound. It's another power play goal for the Coyotes. Adams locks that one in at 4:24, and it's 4-0. 2 power play goals tonight.
It's amazing how simple it can get when you get down to that power play. No play, fired at the net. There's a lot of big bodies standing up in front. JR comes right through a lot of traffic. Nobody takes him physically. So all of a sudden, Quinn can get the puck, shoots it hard at the net. There's the big man, Adams standing in front. That's all you need to score a power play goal. You don't have to give it the tic-tac-toe and make the perfect pass. Just get that puck at the net, LA being very lax on trying to pick up JR through that neutral ice, or the center of the ice area, and Adams just out-muscles Bodger for that loose puck.
4 goals in the last 4 games for Greg Adams as the Coyotes score 2 power play goals in a game for the second time this year. The other time was October 26th when they went 2 for 4 on the way to a 5-1 win in Denver. Icing now on the Los Angeles Kings. So Adams, who had 2 the other night, nails his 4th of the year. This on the power play, his first power play goal. Darren Quint and Jeremy Roenick will pick up the assist to make it 4-0.
Gus, affectionately known as his nickname, really has continued to work hard. We had talked just before the game tonight, and he says, you know, it's so frustrating because you're brought here to score goals. You're not scoring goals, but it wasn't from effort.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, it's a lot simpler when the team is winning because you can contribute in other ways. I'll tell you what, they would have been a little bit more desperate if the team was not winning at that point, but he stayed consistent, stayed within himself, and as you always see guys with good scoring opportunities, sooner or later they have to go in.
Now Kachuk, as Briere got chucked out of the face-off circle. Now it's Galley. And the Kings are in a deep, dark hole here in their own building with only 15 minutes and change to go. Bodger and Galley are deep. Bodger just back after tripping on a puck in the pregame skate in his 1,003rd NHL game. Fell down and broke his hand. Drake rips it away just off the tip for Briere. And Galley won an almighty foot race, and it's icing on the Coyotes. 4-0 Coyotes. Adams gets the 4th goal of the game. We talked to him earlier tonight about scoring goals. He'll be the first to tell you it's tough to do when it's early. Then you get that touch. There you go.
Yeah, it was tough there for a while. It gets pretty frustrating when you're expected to score goals and you don't score the goals. So when the goals started going in the other night, it sure feels a lot easier and it takes a lot of pressure off you, I think.
Adams, 2 Thanksgiving night, another one tonight.
I'll tell you what, it's no such greater feeling being a goal scorer and getting out of a skid and scoring some goals, and he has really picked it up as of that. That's 4 goals now. He's been contributing 4 goals in the last 4 games.
Here's Yolonen. A subdued crowd, and a lot of them headed for the exits after that goal by Adams, so he helped to clear out any potential parking congestion here tonight as well. Just doing his part, folks. It's the NHL and the Coyote way. Murray. Josh Green. Here's Murray. Matthias Nordstrom now for Los Angeles. And one from Stumpel. A nice play for Green, but he couldn't get a drive onto Hobby Bolin. Puck dancing around. No clear control on it. Green throws it in. It was going wide anyway, but Hobby Bolin wanted some control on the old galvanized biscuit, so he lowered it down.
He needed to get control. Oleg Tverdovsky had his stick broken by Glenn Murray behind the net, so not a very good place to have one of your defensemen without a stick. Realize that. Again, communication between the forwards, the defenseman, and the goaltender. You can definitely know they were yelling at him to freeze that puck.
And the face-off coming in the Coyote zone. Charlie, the Kings are going to go to a brand new building in downtown Los Angeles, out of the Forum for the first time in many, many years.
New Staples Center is supposed to be open probably about the 3rd week of the start of next year. In October, the Kings are going to have to play the first 2.5 weeks on the road. But they've been working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on that building. They have all the concrete up, so it's been moving quite quickly.
It's going to be different, won't it? Especially for guys like you who are so much a part of the great fame of this building over the years in the Los Angeles Kings to not come into this rather odd-looking building for the NHL with the mustard yellow and orange seats around, but a lot of great memories in here.
That would be Forum blue and gold were the colors. Of course, you never say yellow anytime a hockey player is around, but Jack Kent Cook, Canadian, came down, built the fabulous Forum, brought the LA Kings here in the first NHL expansion back in 1967.
I just call it mustard yellow, so sorry. Seats on this side are orange, and there's some blue still in the building. It's on the outside for the most part now. Those are the Kings colors for many years. Here's Perreault go now with Pache scampering out of the way.
Boy, Helmer's really played well here, especially tonight. He seems to be a lot more composed tonight. Right there, he just jumped up into the play. They're not getting tied up in front of net, so one defenseman's back in front of net. The other one's mobile, anticipating and reading the plays.
It's got to be difficult to stay sharp enough down in the minors. Particularly, he's been down in Las Vegas, which has been struggling. And all of a sudden, you get a call. You never know when that call is going to come. Well, he's getting some time now. Johnson wings it on to Hobby Bulin. And we're not quite 7 minutes into the game. You have to just play your best, like obviously every night, Charlie, but you never do know when you're going to get that call. And he got called up on Thanksgiving Day and played that night.
Well, it's an extra bonus when you have a defenseman like Jimmy Schoenfeld or Larry Robinson on the other side as your head coach. Because, you know, right away they're thinking defense. They're thinking offense. They're going with their bread and butter, and it's something that all successful teams in the league, even the Detroit Red Wings, start their play by having good, solid defense. And it's really been a big plus for them this year, having guys like this learning the system. You're seeing one quick pass to the forward, defenseman working as one, clearing the zone, not getting themselves into trouble.
Burkham really battling for the draw, bounded away from both him and Jokinen. And now he pounces on it. And now Lume's there. And the Coyotes are trying to keep the charging Kings out of their end, and the puck will wander away. Bodger runs it down. 3 goals in the second period. Greg Adams adds one here in the third, and the Coyotes all of a sudden break open a 0-0 affair and pile it on. Here they come again, 3-on-2. Now Lume had to put it to Adams. Siplikov snipped that one out. Adams is right on it again, though, but the Kings clear it away. Vladimir Siplikov driven against the wood by Lume. Tocchet turns it back, and it's thrown in by Jeremy Roenick.
Big bonus with Lume. We just saw him lead the play at that point, and the puck turns over, and he's the first one back into his own position, is having a veteran like that to make sure he doesn't get caught, especially when you're leading on the road.
Gary Galley made a good play to turn it back in, but the Kings couldn't hold. Now, here's Jokinen at the line. Flipped away. Kachuk is in hot pursuit to the Kings' end. Down with Matthias Nordstrom. And turned away by the Kings. Lead checking Lacroix. Coyotes' Daniel Briere, who got the first goal of this game. Kachuk is there. Bichot turns it away. Arnie with a pop. Here comes Dallas Drake. It's swept away by Los Angeles, and Ray Ferrero got it out. Arnie turns it right back again, and Nordstrom runs it down. And took a while, but it is offside. With 11:34 to go in the game, the Coyotes are rolling along now on a Saturday night in La La Land. It is 4-0. 11 and a half to go. The Coyotes are leading the Kings 4-0 with Charlie Simmer, Doug McLeod of the Great Western Forum. Good seats available now. Actually, they were all night long, but they really are now. And that little fire drill results in a Los Angeles offside. Kings with one shot in this period, nearly halfway old. Reminds you again about the Coyotes' holiday hat trick. A great package this is. A pair of tickets to 3 Coyotes games and a souvenir hat, and the whole mess is just $55. $55 and 6 hockey tickets and a hat. Well, you can't beat that. Look for the holiday hat trick coupon in this week's Valpak, or call 563-PUCK, 563-PUCK for more information. And now Corkum stands in against Ferrero. Lacroix popped away by Carney. Kings try to keep it alive. Here they come, but there was no chance to really turn it in for Lacroix. Ferrier keeps it alive. Here's Eric Lacroix jamming the net again. The puck just sat there after it hit the pad of Hobby Bulin, and now they all pile on, and that will smother it under there. There's a great look at it under the glove of Nikolai Hobby Bulin.
Lacroix, not noted more as the scorer, but had some pretty good opportunities, some pretty good anticipation coming out of the corner right here. Goes back to the backhand. Actually, good play by Carney to come in and take the puck off him, but we're not trying to go on the backhand. On the other end, he came from the forehand, which is a good opportunity. Here's another look at that. A little bit of speed on the forehand, trying to get out, but could not get out far enough. Defenseman coming back, closing the ice as quick as possible.
Here's Ian LaPerriere. Try to jam it for Ferraro. Lacroix's back there, and Newman is all over him. Ferrero turns it along the end. Here's Ferrero on his hands and knees now as Corkum grinds along the advertising. It squirts away. Lume is there. Now Doan with a jam, working with O'Connell. And Newman and pounds it away.
Boy, Ferrero not too happy about that. Bob Corkum holding him a little bit after the puck had left. And the referee really not calling. He said, come on, boys, keep it playing. And that's frustrating, especially when you're at home and you're down by 4.
Siplikov and Robitaille, but there's Newman in to break it up again. Here's Corkum along the end, piled into by Siplikov, but Lume turns it away and launches it out of harm's way. Coyotes just want to keep it out of trouble and change lines. Now ice it here as Galley touches up as we near the halfway mark of period 3. 4-0 Coyotes. Start of a long skein of road games here, which will continue until they return against the Montreal Canadiens on the 9th of December. Be up to, boy, a much-awaited rematch, too, coming up on Wednesday at the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, which you still like to call it, against the Oilers.
Play along the boards, you can see how the puck is released, and they were still holding. Ferrero still unhappy. I don't know if he knows to yell at Corkum, the referee, or what. And again, remember, we talked about him being relegated to the 4th line.
Rogers shot blocked in traffic. Galley lets it go. A stick deflection by Hobby Bullen. Isbister fighting along the wood to keep it out, and now here come the Coyotes free. A board pass from Sullivan to Stapleton. Tried to turn it back in and hits traffic. Now Sullivan goes piling down to the corner. Mike Sullivan with Jokinen on him. Sullivan walks it in. Sullivan turns and tries to get the shot. It was blocked just as it left his blade, and it comes sizzling back into the Coyote zone as the Kings ice the puck. Mike Sullivan with the play that started down in the corner and wound up with a shot, or close to it anyway, off the lip of the goal crease. Kids, a reminder, you can register to be a Coca-Cola Stick Kid. It's your chance to win 4 seats on the glass. Meet a Coyotes player and receive a cool Coyotes gift, too. If you'd like to know more, stop by the Coyotes Zone in your local Fry's food and drug stores. 9:27 to go. The Coyotes riding along with a 4-0 lead here at the Forum. Roenick, Adams, and Tocchet, the Coyote line now. Quinn and Helmer on the defense. Schoenfeld still staying with those lines that he changed in the second period, and why not continue to try to keep the momentum in the system working. Helmer fires, a save by Storr, and he hangs on. Jamie Storr, as I mentioned, both their goaltenders have been out. Storr came back a week ago and returned in style. He came back to play the Chicago Blackhawks and shut them out. 5-0. His first game in the last 16 out with a groin injury. JR right off the draw. There's a good hard shot. Unfortunately for the Coyotes, not enough time for Adams or Tkachuk, or I should say Drake, to get to that front of net for the screen. As you can see how it's parted open, Storr can make an easy save there. Pounded away by Vicho. The Coyotes keep it alive. Quint flings it in from the point. Here's Tocchet. He's wrapped up by Nordstrom, or is he? Turnabout, fair play. Adams pounds down. Here's Nordstrom to knock it ahead. Kings come away. Johnson with Perreault. Broken up at the line and offside. And with 8 minutes and 58 seconds to go, the Coyotes, with a 30-16 shots on goal advantage, are piling it on the Kings. It's 4-0 in Los Angeles. Coyotes single-game tickets on sale now at the America West box office and all Dillard's outlets, so you can charge by phone at 503-5555. Here's Tverdovsky. Back and forth between the lines. The Coyotes just want to keep it out of harm's way here, create chances when they come. Stumple turns it right back for the Kings, who now just want to get something in here for their efforts. Josh Green, nothing on that one by Glenn Murray, who has 13 points in his last 10 games, but he's going to get another chance. He bangs it to Josef Stumple, who can't hold. The Coyotes have done a great job since that first period, just shutting down Los Angeles. I can't count any more than 2 or 3 great scoring opportunities that Nick Abby-Woolen's had to come up with. And of course, when he had to, he's done the big saves. Glenn Duchesne, a good player, got flat beat to hustle to that puck by Carney, and the Coyotes win all the little battles here in the late going. Newman pulls it away. Scoring chances abound.
But it's really frustrating when you're down by 4 and not getting scoring opportunities. At least there's some light at the end of the tunnel if you're making the other goaltender really come up with some pretty big saves. And really, you saw 4 good scoring opportunities. But
here's Kachuk from Briere. Kachuk right again, swings it into Briere. But he was stopped as he turned by Gary Galley. Now Kachuk, here's Briere. A chop, but no. And Kachuk and Briere are really pounding on the front door in front of score. Kachuk, now Drake. Turns right into Bodger. Luke Robitaille drags it away. Briere with a pop at it. Now Galley is there. Briere pulls it away from Galley and takes his hip check. Dallas Drake turns it out of the corner. Here now is Kachuk. Bodger with him as Kachuk goes high and takes his time, which he can well afford to do. Newman and shot by Quint. They tried to set up the old backdoor play, and it very nearly worked.
the personal battle right here between Briere and Galley been going all shift. Lots of hooking and holding by everybody up there now.
Quint fencing with Siplikov. Kachuk now takes a little pop at Jokinen behind the play, and another one, and Captain Coyote is laying the lumber. Here comes Bodger. Drake is on him, and now it gets physical. Everybody locks it up here.
There's Briere and Galley, just like we talked about, at the far side of the pile, going at each other. Kachuk gets in right away. He says, no, you don't pick on the youngsters.
No,
you
sir.
want a shot, you come get a look at me. That's something you love to see from the youngsters. Even Daniel Brier's, that's not going to be his strongest point. The point, it might even be hurting him a little bit that he wants to get in there and get involved like that. He's just feeling his way through. You know, when he gets into the big guys, he's got to find a way to get around them.
No fear if you're going to play here. Briere and Galley. Let's crank it back and take a look at how this all got started.
There's the hit right there. Jokinen on Briere, and then a little pushing and shoving, and a little slice right there. Okay. The stick is down already, and right here's a little extra one. Probably could cost Keith an extra 2 minutes right there. Bodger comes in. Here comes Galley, and all of a sudden Briere comes in to pull Galley off of Kachuk, and that's what team toughness is, everybody helping each other out.
Penalties at 12-12 of the third period. There will be plenty to go around. The issue decided here with the Coyotes leading 4-0. Ali Jokinen, the rookie, as Drake and Kachuk go in for the Coyotes. Look at this, a priceless look on the face of Larry Roberts. What are you going to do? He wants to go home, and I don't blame him. And you know, there are times when you just have to stand back there and go, huh?
Well, after a big win against Chicago, and really a pretty tremendous first period that they had, they came out skating, and Coach would say, okay, we're over the hump now, and all of a sudden the second period, we're down by 3. Goodbye. Next thing you know, and he says, how are we going to figure this out?
Whereas on the other bench, the redhead can enjoy himself a little bit. Everybody's mighty happy around Camp Coyote, as you may imagine, lately. And now at 12-12 of the third period, the penalties will be assigned: a roughing minor and a high-sticking minor to Keith Kachuk. Drake will get roughing. 5 penalties, 10 minutes.
2 minutes for roughing. Phoenix has the option to play 2 men short for 2 minutes or 1 man short for 4 minutes.
Fans, log on to the Coyotes website, coyotes.com, phoenixcoyotes.com, and vote for the United Healthcare Achievement Award Player of the Month. In November, vote for the best offensive player, and if your entry is chosen, you win a replica jersey, autographed by the Achievement Award Player of the Month.
Well, here we have the calls. Jim Schonfeld has a decision to make. Kachuk has 4 minutes, 2 for roughing, 2 for high sticking. Drake 2 for roughing. Jokinen gets 2 minutes for roughing. So now, as you can see, there's 6 minutes for the Coyotes and only 2 for LA. The Coyotes have a choice, either doing a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes or 4 minutes 5-on-4, and I think it's a pretty obvious call right there.
And with 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go, and a 4-0 Coyote lead, they're going to have to do the math there to get everything squared away. But there is mighty good feeling behind that Coyote bench tonight, heading up to Edmonton on Tuesday to play the Oilers on Wednesday. And that should be a sensational game. And, of course, we'll have that for you on WB61 on Wednesday night. This one has yet to end.
Quite the obvious call right here. It's going to be a 5-on-4. You're not going to take that 5-on-3 for 2 minutes.
No.
Because that's just too much of an opportunity for LA, and especially the way the penalty killers have been working for the Coyotes. You have 4 minutes to kill. They did a great job the other night against New Jersey. Stay with that same system. Unfortunate situation late in the game because everything seemed to be flowing their way.
Drake for 2, Jokinen for 2. Those are off. Kachuk 2 for roughing and 2 for high sticking. Those are on the board, so it'll be 2 power plays. Technically for the Los Angeles Kings, their 3rd and 4th of the night. 4 minutes of 5-on-4 with 6:48 to go for the Kings, down by 4.
Well, we think.
Well, now wait a minute.
Referee over the truck, the Shoney. Now, let me get this straight. Okay, you've got 2 and 4. Are you trying to? No, are you sure you should be a 5-on-3? You don't want to do that. And look at the advantage. You're only short-handed for 2 minutes. But again, that 5-on-3 opportunity is just way too much.
'18th game of the year, getting it all worked out here. Schoenfeld will not let anything go by. A good coach will always question and also do a little selling.
It's a key also. If you can ever get a referee to come by your bench, you take full advantage of it. You might start out talking about the penalties called here, but get back to something in the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You still got it stored away, and you want to say something. Get your peace of mind no matter what. You paid to be in the building. I got to say my word.
And Trottier has been very amenable about it. Things have been civil over there tonight. There are some referees who will not go to the bench, period. They'll skate over in the farthest corner of the rink if need be, skate over by the scorer's table, whatever. They won't go. Trottier's over. Many officials in many sports are happy to have the chance to go right back at a coach, too. So there's that, although there wasn't anything, I don't think, like that going on. Well, now, 6:48 to go. A 4-minute power play showing for the Los Angeles Kings, who have not played in a week following their 5-0 shutout win over the Blackhawks here. And now their long power play time begins. Back out come the Kings, and here we go. 4 minutes to kill, and then it'll be pocket change in terms of time left in this game. Robitaille, past Ferraro, kept alive by the Kings. It's fired on the way to Duchesne. Yolonen swings it clear. Short-handed, Corkham's going to let that one go down there and then wait till Storr comes out to commit himself. Duchesne out for Ferraro. Kings on the power play, broken up by the jab of Keith Carney.
Good anticipation there by Carney.
Long range on the Hobby Bullen is banged to the wall by Yolonen. Fencing now with Duchesne. Coyotes trying to clear, and finally it's popped down by Tavernowski. Now 2-on-1 with Stapleton. Right at the line. Ball back in by the Kings, and they'll try to get organized here, but it's popped off Duchesne. And Steve Duchesne will have to corral it deep.
One opportunity on the power play, a Luke Robitaille shot, and it was from a long ways out. Again, nobody going hard to the net because the defensive forwards and defensemen have cleared out the pass.
Galley punches it down. Here's Josh Green, now Robitaille. Lume, Newmanen, Sullivan, and Stapleton killing it off for the Coyotes right now. They're still short for 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Bodger to Galley. And Gary Galley at right point. Big slap into a crowd. Hit Newmanen on the way past Stumple. 2:25 in the long double power play for the Kings. Bodger for Robitaille. Here's Stumple. A drive by Galley and a save by Hobby Bullen. Only the 17th shot of the game for the Kings, but a potent one. And Hobby Bullen makes the good stop. Robitaille. Now Stumple shooting. Save Hobby Bullen. Bodger was open in front, but the puck didn't glance off to him. And Stapleton piles on. The puck is down there somewhere under Green, I think. They'll stop the play.
So there's the 1 2-minute penalty gone. So now it's down to a 2-minute penalty to Tkachuk. Drake comes out of the penalty box. Jokinen comes out of the penalty box. And pretty good-looking power play at that point. Some missed passes, a lack of confidence, it seems, on the puck handling from the Kings, because they're ending up with some pretty good control. Right here, shot comes on, the save is made, and it's just sitting there almost. You don't want to touch it because it's going to go to the other guy. Smart play right there by the defenseman. Get it out of the slot area to start with, get into the corner, and start all over again.
Last 2 minutes of power play time for the Kings. This is their fourth now. And it pops away. Shane and Murray are back there, pestered by Corkum. And that drizzle's clear. Yolonen down to keep an eye on it. Carney and Tverdovsky, the penalty-killing defenseman now. As Duchesne tries to knock it in, but the Kings are offside. And boy, if that isn't the way things have been going for the Kings, all you can do is screw it back on and try again.
It's really been a pretty good combination for the power play of the Kings. Duchesne on one side, and you mentioned earlier, Glenn Murray, nobody a right winger, likes to shoot the puck back on the other, and the Coyotes have proved that the last couple games, especially tonight, shooting that puck at the net, produced good scoring opportunities.
Corkum wins the draw, and Carney rips it the length of the ice. 93 seconds of penalty time to kill for the Coyotes, with under 4.5 minutes to go in this game. 4-0 Coyotes as Duchesne knocks it in. Tverdovsky digging along the end. Simplakov piles in and levels Tverdovsky and pulls the puck away and swings it high and gets it right back again. Simplakov, hot drive by Duchesne. That was the play they wanted, but Duchesne fired it wide. Now Murray trying to one-time it off balance for a tip in front by Simplakov, but no. At the hash mark, Carney trying to clear and hit Johnson. Here's Carney. Kings sending 3 down, but Carney clears it and goodbye, it's gone.
Very simple move by Carney. Again, everybody's anticipating the puck to go hard around, so he let up a little bit. Everybody goes to the boards. He makes one little spin around and comes right up the slot area all by himself.
Thoreau messed up by Sullivan, and he couldn't get out as Sullivan laid the lumber in. Now Bodger cranks it in. Trying to go hard around, but it hits something on the boards. Robitaille for Stumpel, who's checked by Quinn. 24 seconds, the Coyotes will be back at full strength. Now they come out shorthanded. Newman. Sullivan shot hits Galley, but it's right to Newman, and whoops, it's also right back to Yannick Thoreau. Power play on the attack for the Kings. Thoreau pulling away from Quinn. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. 9 seconds to kill now for the Coyotes. Thoreau for Doug Bodger. Into Robitaille and hit Quinn, I think. And jumping right in, Sullivan knocks it away, and that's the end of the 4-minute power play. Tkachuk out of the box. Coyotes full strength with 2:40 to go. And behind the defense, a chance, but not much for Stumpel, and the fire goes right out now. And with 2:36 to go, the Coyotes 4 and the Kings nothing as we go to the wire in L.A. Time for our Whataburger, what a save, and another great night in the Forum for Nikolai Habibulin.
In the second period, a great save on Yannick Thoreau, sticking out that left pad right at the last second, teasing him just enough to think he's going to get by him.
But no so, with 2.5 to go now, it's 4-0 Coyotes. Lacroix with Helmer working on him. Now Lafayette went down, the puck dancing around in the Coyote zone. LaPerriere tried to keep it alive, but Helmer swings it away. Trying to bust it out there for Jeremy Roenick. The race is on. No icing. JR got there first, but he got pounded into the boards by Mark Bichot. 6'6", 222. Tocchet comes in on Bichot, and here they go. Bichot with a huge reach, but look at Tocchet raining dynamite on the rookie Mark Bichot.
Another little matchup coming out of nowhere at this point.
And Helmer, and he's given a good account of himself.
LaPerriere at that point. Tocchet gets in there very quickly against Bichot. Game's out of hand. You run one of your top players, the other guys come in and say, no, this isn't going to happen.
The Coyote way again. Oh, Tocchet did a job on Bichot, and look at young Brian Helmer making the most of his call-up from Las Vegas. A very impressive couple of nights for that guy. And the disgruntled, disgusted, beaten up Kings will clump off to their dressing room to think about what's next.
JR out racing Visual for this, the loose puck. You know you're going to get it. He's just waiting in the weeds to hit him, and right there just drives him hard into the boards. Down goes JR. Puck play continues off of that, but out of nowhere, 22 is coming into the pitcher going, I don't think you're going to be hitting him any longer. Right into your pitcher right there. Punch thrown wild by Visual. Very well. Once Talk gets his bearings here, you see him starting to try to grab on with that left hand. All of a sudden, everybody turns over, and then the jackhammer comes when he's down on the ice. He just threw about 5 or 6 real good ones.
And Helmer goes piling in there to do his job.
See, once one guy starts to drop their gloves, you want to make sure that nobody is outmanned out there, and that's why Helmer came in out of nowhere to make things even. Little pat right there. JR knows what part of the game is, so does Talk. Team toughness.
Defense sets it up. You get goal scorers sometimes, but team toughness all the way through.
Again, having a 4-0 lead also, you can maybe slide a little bit away from that discipline part of it. I mean, if it's tied up at that point, that's a Talk sort of have to wait his turn. He says, I'm going to get a number here, but penalty killers have been good, and also sends a message. There's still 4 games left to play against the LA Kings, who are in the Western Division.
Including 2 games home and home in 3 days, starting the day after Christmas. We'll be here, and then they'll be right back at our place.
2 minutes for instigating a fight, 5 minutes for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct. Number 2, Brian Helmer, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. Los Angeles penalties to number 48, Mark Vishu, 2 minutes for boarding and 5 minutes for fighting. Number 22, Ian LaPerriere, 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. Time of the penalties, 17:56.
So there you go. Taka gets 2-5 in the game. Helmer gets 5 in the game. Visho gets 2 and 5. And LaPerriere gets 5 in the game. Got all that straight? A partridge in a pear tree.
Automatic for Helmer and LaPerriere to get the game misconduct. Once an altercation starts, everybody's supposed to skate away from that local area. You start another fight, automatically get the 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct.
And you look and you see Larry Robinson, it tells the story. What a nightmare. Trying to get something going out here this year, brought a few former Kings back. And when it's not going for the Los Angeles Kings, and boy is it ever not going. They will have lost for the 7th time in their last 8 games. A minute and 53 seconds from now.
Well, since the last Coyotes trip, LA after tonight will be 2-9-1, where the Coyotes have gone to 10-0-1. So that makes a big space in the standings.
Offside with a minute 39 to go. Safe, I think, to predict the Coyote victory here tonight, which would mean that they would clear the month of November perfectly. 10 wins, no losses, and 1 tie. Last team to go undefeated an entire month was the 96-97 Florida Panthers, who went 8-0-4 in October of 96. Rushed in by Duchesne. Here's Tverdovsky with Duncan on it. And the puck flies to the line. Sean O'Donnell tried to keep it alive. Now Murray does. Vladimir Siplikov lets it go. A touch wide and knocked away by Hobby Bulin. Winding down to the last minute of the game. Drake locks up Siplikov. And Dallas Drake jumps in again. Taken down by Siplikov in the corner. The puck flies away. Here's Oleg Tverdovsky down for the Coyotes. Last minute of play of this game. Store will swing it away to Sean O'Donnell.
LA struggling for goals a lot this year too, and again back to the main consistency that we've seen with the Coyotes, injuries. You get the same guys in the lineup, especially your top players, who are going to be more productive.
Kings coming with speed that time, but couldn't bury it. They clanged that one off the goalpost. Galley there with a swat by Doan. A shot back in by Ferraro. Getting crazy now. Doan for Corkum, and out come the Coyotes in the last 26 seconds of the game. Sullivan at the line. Got it through. Corkin keeps it deep. Bodger swings it away. Ferrero's there with Johnson and Green out in front. 15 to go. Here comes Josh Green. Doesn't seem to be able to get control of the puck. 10 seconds to go. Here is Teppo Numminen. 3 seconds. 2, 1, and it is over. And Nikolai Khabibulin continues to reign triumphant against the Los Angeles Kings. He posts his second shutout of the year, and they are both against the Kings. The 15th shutout of his career. He shut him out also on January 1st of last year at America West Arena in Phoenix. The Coyotes become the first team since the '96 Florida Panthers to go an entire month unbeaten. They now have set a new franchise record for 14 consecutive games without a loss, and they are one away from a franchise record of consecutive wins as they win their 8th straight game here tonight. 4-0 the final.
Well, it's a great sign of a team that can recoup. Even shots in the first period, 8-8. LA really carried the play early. It looked a very sloppy play by the Coyotes coming out of their own end zone. They regrouped, though, and that's the key. If you come out of the first period, you're tied 0-0. You're not behind the game. You can start to come out, and they took advantage of some power play time opportunities early in the second to get that 3-0 lead, and they were off to the race at that point. Then you could see the old team coming back. The passes were there, the skating, the forechecking, good hard work behind the nets set up 2 goals.
It is over in Los Angeles. The Coyotes continue to roll. They go 6-1-1 on the road, and boy, you can't ask for better than that after a 20-minute start that you really wondered for a while, because among other things, the Coyotes did not skate today, Charlie, when they got to Los Angeles. A very rainy day, and we flew out this morning, so they came out. Maybe took a while to get the legs going. Who knows? Who cares? It all winds up a win, 4-0. We're joined downstairs now by Teppo Numminen. But Teppo, another very impressive turnaround by the Coyotes here. How about the legs? Was it hard to get the legs going without a morning skate?
Oh yeah, it was really tough. We were standing still in the first period, and they came really hard at us at the first period. So I thought it would be a long night for us. But in the second period, we got our legs back and got our game back. So it started bouncing for us again.
Teppo, a couple changes going into the second. Of course, the line changes, but one thing consistent, you and Jyrki Lumi really started to lead the play, and a big goal for you, your third of the year. Maybe you can help us out with it. Started by some hard work behind the net.
Yeah, guys cycled the puck really well. We got it deep. Juha is right there, and I don't know who shot it. I guess Corkum shot it on the net, and I was just coming. I guess the owner passed it in front. I was lucky there. I just tried to sneak slowly and quietly to the net, and it was an empty net. So nice goal.
Well, you did a good job of it, and also you see the way the guys. It seems even if they're down a little bit, you hold your own. You don't give them some good scoring opportunities, and you stay within yourselves as far as the game system.
Oh yeah, it's been like in the first period it was tough for us, but we played a game plan, and we believe that we can win even if after a tough first period. So we got lots of confidence right now, and everybody's playing strong defensively, and for sure, like Nicky's playing unbelievable. So it's really great to play in front of him.
A king killer again. Teppo, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Great job. Teppo Numminen, who scored the third goal of this game at 8:24 of the second period, and really put the cap on a 3-goal second period explosion as the Coyotes power to a win in Los Angeles tonight, 4-0. We'll be right back. Looks good, feels good, it's in the book. Coyotes 4 and the Los Angeles Kings nothing. Welcome back to the Forum, where tonight the guy who got the first goal of this game on a power play is going to be our America West Airlines player of the game, or play of the game rather. Here's Danny Briere's goal.
Keeping it very simple, and he's just hovering around, and that's all it takes to have a very successful power play, is making sure you get that puck at the net, and of course being in the right place at the right time.
You can put a 1 in front of Phoenix in every major category. Number 1 in the Pacific Division, number 1 in the Western Conference, number 1 in the National Hockey League. They're going to start a road trip on a good style. That's the way to do it.
They really do. Unfortunately for them, they get to go home for a couple days before they head up to Edmonton, which will still be another tough battle. Very fast skating team up in Edmonton that loves to play at home.
Another shutout for Khabibulin tonight. He gets number 3 star, Ylonen 2, and Shane Doan is the number 1 star of this game. Coyotes have won 8 in a row. unbeaten in 14. Now it's on to Edmonton. We'll be with you there on Wednesday night on WV61, starting at 7 o'clock for the Coyotes and the Oilers. Now for Charlie Simmer, Doug McLeod saying thanks for joining us and good night from the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles.